Self-help gurus are everywhere telling you that to become your best self, you need to build a laundry list of new habits. Wake up at 5 a.m., meditate, take cold showers, work out, read, journal, the list goes on and on. It gets exhausting. But what if I told you the secret to success might not be about working harder, but making things easier? Today, we're diving into how simplifying your life and reducing friction could be the one key habit you've been searching for. Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. If you've ever struggled to stick to a habit, whether it's working out, eating healthier, or even reading more, you're not alone. We all face that challenge, but the good news is there's a powerful strategy that could help you break through. Simplifying your life and lowering the friction to do the things that matter most. In this video, we're going to explore why reducing friction can help you form habits that stick. You implement it in your own life and the science behind it. By the end, you'll have an actionable strategy to make your goals feel effortless. Before we jump in, I'm John Finley, and on this channel, we break down business fundamentals and personal development. If you're passionate about personal growth, success strategies, and building a better you, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and let's get started on transforming your life one habit at a time. In today's video, here's what we'll cover: the science behind reducing friction and why it's key for habit formation, practical strategies for lowering friction in your daily routine, how simplifying your environment can boost your success, and we'll also discuss how reducing friction can be a tool for breaking bad habits. Sound good? Let's get into it. Okay, let's start by looking at the power of reducing friction. What exactly does that mean? Friction is basically anything that makes it harder for you to do something when it comes to a habit. The more friction you have, the less likely you are to stick to that habit. Think about it. If you have to go through 10 steps just to get ready for your workout, you're going to have to push yourself much harder to build that habit. Reducing friction makes the process easier, and that's crucial for creating consistent habits. When we make something easier, we're more likely to repeat it. The literature shows us at the core of habit formation is what's known as a habit loop, a concept made popular by Charles Dingish in his book, The Power of Habits. The habit loop consists of three main concepts. Cue. This is the trigger or prompt for a behavior, like waking up in the morning or feeling stressed. Second, routine. This is the behavior or action we perform in response to the cue, such as having a cup of coffee or going for a jog. And finally, the reward. Everyone's favorite part. This is the positive outcome we get from the routine, which reinforces the behavior, making us want to repeat it in the future. Reducing friction focuses on making the routine part of the habit loop easier and more accessible, thus increasing the likelihood of repeating the habit. We all experience what is known as cognitive load and decision fatigue. Every decision we make requires mental energy. The more decisions we have to make, the more our brain experiences decision fatigue, which can reduce our ability to make good choices later in the day. By reducing fatigue, i.e. simplifying or automating certain tasks, we decrease the cognitive load required to perform a behavior. This helps us conserve mental energy for other tasks and makes it more likely that we will stick to the habit. Reducing friction in habit formation is all about making desired behaviors easier and more automatic. By simplifying the process, removing obstacles, and designing an environment that supports the behavior, our brain is wired to avoid effort and expending excess energy. Now that we know why friction matters, let's take a look at how to reduce it in our daily lives. Some practical strategies to make your habits easier to do. Simplify your environment. Make the items you need for your habit visible and easy to access. For example, if you want to exercise in the morning, keep your yoga mat right next to your bed. The easier it is to start, the more likely you are to follow through, but also prepare in advance. Set out your workout clothes or prepare your meals the night before. This reduces decision fatigue and gets you one step closer to the habit without extra effort. I feel like this is one thing that a lot of gurus get wrong, is they try to make you do too many habits, and then that leads to that decision fatigue, and then ultimately you not completing your habits. So if you're going to try to implement multiple habits, it's a good idea to use habit stacking. Stacking a new habit onto an existing one. If you already have a morning routine like drinking coffee, add something simple right after, like stretching or reading for 5 minutes. Lastly, minimize steps. Break your habits down into this simple form. For example, instead of planning a 1-hour workout, just commit to putting on your gym clothes and doing 10 minutes. This gets you started with minimal resistance, but don't forget to help yourself by creating visual cues. Use reminders, sticky notes, or even apps to nudge you into action. Seeing something triggers your brain to start the habit. By applying these strategies, you make the habit feel easier, and before you know it, your brain starts associating it with the positive reward. But the best part, reducing friction isn't just for building good habits, it can also help you break bad ones. Let's flip this concept. If you're struggling with a bad habit, like doom scrolling through social media or eating junk food, too, I know I struggle with sometimes, you can increase friction to make those behaviors harder. For example, you could use website blockers to slow down your access to distracting sites, or you could store unhealthy snacks in a hard-to-reach place. My favorite is just not having them in your house at all, but making it just a bit more annoying to grab them. The more effort you have to put into a bad habit, the less likely you are to fall into it. By consciously adding friction to negative behaviors, you essentially train your brain to avoid them. Remember, our brains are wired to avoid effort and expending excess energy. So we've talked about reducing friction to help form good habits and break bad ones. But why does this strategy work so well? Well, the science behind it is pretty powerful. I want to emphasize again, research shows that habits are formed through a cue, routine, and reward. By reducing friction, we make it easier for our brains to associate the cue, waking up, with the routine, working out, and the reward, feeling energized. The more we simplify the process, the easier it becomes to reinforce system. And James Clear, the author of Atomic Habit, talks about the importance of environmental design in forming habits. When you reduce friction, your environment becomes a constant nudge towards the behavior you want to cultivate. It's like setting yourself up for success without having to rely solely on willpower. Now that we know why reducing friction is so effective, let's shift gears a bit and talk about the most powerful habits for success. Some of the most successful people swear by simple friction-reducing habits. Here are a few you can implement today. Wake up early. Many successful people wake up before 8:30 a.m., giving themselves time to focus on personal growth before diving into the workday. Exercise regularly. Not only does it improve your health, but regular good physical activity boosts energy levels and mental clarity. I know I'm most creative on my daily walks. Continuous learning. Reading every day. Dedicate at least 30 minutes to reading books that expand your knowledge and help you grow. And don't forget to prioritize self-care. Take care of your body and mind with proper sleep, nutrition, and relaxation. When you feel good, you perform better. The key is consistency. By reducing friction in your daily life, these habits will become automatic and natural. So let's recap what we've learned today. We've covered the power of reducing friction and simplifying your environment to make habits easier to form. Whether it's a habit of exercise, reading, or even breaking bad habits, the more you simplify and remove obstacles, the easier it will be to succeed. We also looked at how adding friction to negative habits can help us break free from them. Remember, the secret to success isn't always about doing more. Sometimes it's about doing less and making it easier for yourself to succeed. By reducing friction, you're setting yourself up for forming habits that last a lifetime and a future filled with success. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a comment about a habit you want to create in 2025. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on creating lasting change. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.